Sawadee Cup, I'm JP Mestanza. It's Tuesday, May 18th. Welcome to Phuket Extra, brought to you by PVC Phuket. Visit them on Facebook. People wanting to enter Phuket who are not fully vaccinated or cannot prove that they have tested negative for COVID within 72 hours of arriving, they must serve a 14-day quarantine if they want to enter Phuket. The measure goes into effect today, despite announcements that it was to start on May 16th. During a live online broadcast at 8 p.m. last night, Phuket Vice Governor Piapong Chawang announced that all unvaccinated domestic arrivals to Phuket who have also not tested negative for the virus within 72 hours of arriving, they had to now face mandatory 14-day quarantine. Prior to this, all of these people had to take a rapid antigen COVID test upon entering the island. But while foreigners had to pay 500 baht for the test, Thais were free under a budget by the National Health Security Office, which dried up on May 15th. Last night was the first time any Phuket official publicly admitted that the tests were still being continued after May 15th at 450 baht a test for both Thais and foreigners. That is, until today, when mandatory 14-day quarantine goes into effect. Not explained by Vice Governor Piapong was that much of the problem stemmed from truck drivers delivering fresh produce and goods into the island, who are required to comply with the entry requirements. Also directly affected were people living in Phuket or Phang Nga province who relied on regular travel across the bridge for work or other business purposes. Without the rapid antigen tests available, each truck driver and other person needing to cross the bridge would be required to prove they had undergone a COVID test at a hospital, a procedure that costs about 3,000 baht per time. Of note, while truck drivers remain stuck at the checkpoint onto Phuket, prices of fresh produce at markets in Phuket town have been rising. Vice Governor Piapong said, quote, "Some hospitals in other provinces, such as Phang Nga province, can provide only 100 COVID tests a day. That is not enough for what the arrivals need." From the meeting today, meaning yesterday, the committee altogether agreed to order arrivals without one of the two documents to do quarantine for 14 days from May 18th. If you stay in Phuket shorter than 14 days, then you will be in quarantine as long as you stay on the island. People who are not staying in Phuket overnight, meaning day trippers, are exempt from any of the entry requirements. For day trippers, they are allowed to come, do their thing, and leave. We will come up with something that people will require later. This is all we, the Phuket Communicable Disease Committee, have agreed so far. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. The ban on Phuket restaurants having dine-in patrons after 9 p.m. has been lifted, but the ban on the sale of alcohol in restaurants and the consumption of alcohol on the premises remains. The new order issued by Phuket Governor Narongwonchel comes just 5 days after the latest order imposing COVID-19 restrictions came into effect last Thursday. It means that restaurants can now open as late as they want, although they still can't serve alcohol. This was done because Phuket was no longer a red zone province as of last Friday and is now an orange zone province, where restrictions on opening times have been lifted. Orange zone provinces can have gatherings of up to 50 people, and markets and convenience stores can open for their usual hours. But last night's provincial order did not mention any of those 2 points. Meanwhile, the order issued last night did confirm that schools and other educational institutions can use their buildings for studying, testing, training, and other activities as long as the relevant COVID-19 prevention measures were in effect. International schools are going to be allowed to open next Monday, May 24th, thanks to a new order by the CCSA in Bangkok, while government schools can open on June 1st. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. Pontep Chanarong, the corporal with the Phuket Provincial Police who was drunk and off duty when he shot 25-year-old noodle vendor Arun Tongplab in the stomach on Bangla Road in Patong back in February, he'll face his bail request hearing on Wednesday. The wife of the victim says she will attend the bail hearing and asked the court to deny bail for Pontep, who has been in custody since the February 23 shooting on Bangla Road. A lawyer for the victim's family says the court will most likely ask for 600,000 baht for temporary release, or about half that amount for release with electronic monitoring tracking device, although it could be lower. Meanwhile, donations are still being accepted by the family to deal with the expenses for Mr. Arun Tongplab, who is paralyzed from the waist down, and it's also going to be to help take care for his young children. For more and to learn how you can help, visit thephuket.news.com or the link in the description. Phuket Extra will be right back after this. For the first time that all 3 challenges are completed, PVC Phuket will donate 100 life bags to One Phuket. Welcome back to Phuket Extra. A round object believed to be debris from the launch of a satellite or space shuttle has been salvaged from the seabed near Koh Ael off the coast of Phuket. A local fisherman first spotted the object in the shallows of Koh Ael earlier this month, about 6 meters below the surface, and Royal Thai Navy spent weeks trying to identify the suspicious round object before it was confirmed to be a fuel tank for an object heading for space. Precautions were taken to make sure the salvage operation had no effect on the sea, according to naval officers, and it will now be taken for examination at the Thai Geoinformatics and Space Technology Development Agency. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. A 47-year-old Australian man is now in custody in Nakhon Sri Thammarat province, suspected of being involved in transnational crime here in Phuket. It's unclear if 47-year-old Samuel James Norton Cook was picked up at a checkpoint in the province or was stopped by police, but local cops searched his vehicle and found a fake driver's license and that the entry visa in his passport expired over a year ago. The Bangkok Post says that an officer who took part in that arrest said security agencies had been keeping a close watch on Mr. Cook, who is suspected of involvement in the drug trade and entertainment businesses here in Phuket, alleged to have procured Thai women for foreigners linked to a transnational criminal gang on the island. In fact, police allege that the suspect received a fake driver's license here in Phuket from the same shop that he rented the car from. He's now being detained on charges of overstaying his visa as an investigation into alleged criminal activities is done by police. Phuket recorded 4 new COVID-19 cases on Monday, raising the total for the island during this current outbreak to 608 cases since early April. 146 patients are still recovering. Most cases are in Wichit with 76, Phuket Town and Patong have 59 each, then Rasada with 55, Chengtalay has 45, then Katu with 44. Zooming out to Thailand, it's a new daily high for COVID-19 deaths with 35 fatalities. The death toll is now 649 for the nation. They were aged from 2 months old to 93 years old, although it's unclear how the baby was infected. Also, 2,473 new cases were confirmed over the last 24 hours, raising the total to 113,555 cases since the pandemic began. 75% of all cases have been confirmed only since the third wave of COVID-19 began early last month. 61% of total patients have recovered. Thank you so much for joining us today on Phuket Extra, brought to you by PVC Phuket. Check them out on Facebook. We hope you had a wonderful day, but join us again tomorrow. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000 and luxury properties can go all the way up to 20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks and mortar investment offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.